What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to show you some examples regarding binomial expansion, and on these examples we need to find out the order of the term. For example, the first one, it says which term contains x to the power of 8 in the expansion of x squared minus 2 over x to the power of 10. So which term contains x to the power of 8? We need to say, is it the second term, third term, fourth term, or whatever. So first of all, n is 10. So we can say that the general term is going to be tr plus 1, 10 cr x squared to the power of 10 minus r times negative 2 over x to the power of r. Then what I can do, I can say when you simplify it, tr plus 1 negative 2 to the power of r 10 cr x to the power of 20 minus 2r times x to the power of negative r. Then it's gonna be tr plus 1 is gonna be negative 2 to the power of r 10 cr x to the power of 20 minus 3r, because negative 2r and negative r is gonna be negative 3r. So it means that 20 minus 3r is 8 in this case. Therefore negative 3r is 8 minus 12, 8 minus 20, which is going to be negative 12. Therefore r is 4. It means that we are dealing with fifth term. So the fifth term contains x to the power of 8. So that's going to be the answer. And the coefficient is going to be negative 2 to the power of 4 10 c4. Negative 2 to the power of 4 10 c4. When you can calculate it, it will be 3360. That's the term here. So the coefficient, which is going to be 3360 times x to the power of 8. Next example, it says find the term containing y to the power of 3 in the expansion of 3x plus y to the power of 1 over 2 to the power of 10. So t of r plus 1 equals to 10 cr 3x to the power of 10 minus r times y to the power of 1 over 2 to the power of r. 10 factorial divided by 8 factorial divided by 2 factorial. It's gonna be, so we can leave it like that. Let's leave it like that for now. So we can have r times 1 over 2 is going to be r over 2 is equals to, must be equal to 3. So therefore r will be 6. And it means that we are talking about 6 plus 1, which is t7. That's going to be 10 c6 3x to the power of 10 minus 6, which is 4, y to the power 1 over 2 to the power of 6. So 10 c6 is gonna be that's 210 times 3 to the power of 4, which is 81, x to the power of 4, y to the power of 3. So that's gonna be 17010 x to the power of 4 y to the power of 3. Next example. It says find the coefficient of x to the power of 16 in the expansion of x squared plus 3x to the power of 10. So we're going to have t r plus 1, 10 c r, x squared to the power of 10 minus r, 3x to the power of r. That's x to the power of 16. It means that that's here 10 cr x to the power of 20 minus 2r times 3 to the power of r x to the power of r, which is going to be 10 cr x to the power of 20 minus r times 3 to the power of r. Okay, that's going to be 20 minus r equals to 16, so it means that r will be equal to 4. So we are talking about 4 plus 1, which is t5, 10 c4 x squared to the power of 10 minus 4, which is 6, 3x to the power of 4. So 10 c4, it will be 210 x to the power of 12, 81 x to the power of 4. So 210 times 81 is going to be 17010 x to the power of 16. So it's going to be the fifth term, and the term is 17010 x to the power of 16. That's going to be the answer. Next one. Find the coefficient of the term involving x to the power of 32 and x to the power of negative 17 in the expansion of x to the power of 4 plus 1 over x to the power of 3 to the power of 15. So that's going to be t r plus 1, 15 c r, x to the power of 4 to the power of 15 minus r, x to the power of negative 3 to the power of r. So that's going to be 15 cr, x to the power of 60 minus 4r minus 3r. So one time is going to be 60 minus 7r equals to 32, which will be 7r equals to 28. So r is 4. It means that that's going to be the fifth term. And the other one is going to be 60 minus 7r equals to negative 17. In that case, is going to be 7r equals to 77. So r is 11. So it's going to be 12th term. So in that case, since 4 plus 11 is 15, it means that the coefficient of these two terms are the same, which will be 15 factorial over 11 factorial 4 factorial, which is going to be 15 times 14 times 13 times 12 divided by 4 times 3 times 2. That's going to be 1365. So the fifth term and 12th term are 1365 x to the power of 32 and 1365 x to the power of negative 17. Next one. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of 2x plus 2 over x to the power of 10. When it says independent, it means that x to the power of 0. So t r plus 1 is going to be 10 cr 2x to the power of 10 minus r 2 over x to the power of r. it means that when you simplify it, it's going to be 10CR 2 to the power of 10 minus R times 2 to the power of R and negative R cancel out, 2 to the power of 10 times x to the power of 10 minus R, because this one is in the denominator, so R is going to be negative. So that's going to be 10 CR. 2 to the power of 10 is 1024. X to the power of 10 minus 2R. So 10 minus 2R is supposed to be equal to 0. It means that 2R is 10. It means that R is 5. So its sixth term is independent of x. And how do we find the answer? It's gonna be 6, 10, C5, 10, 24, x to the power of 0. So that's gonna be 10 factorial over 5 factorial over 5 factorial, 10, 24. So that's going to be 10 times 9 times 8 times 6, 7 times 6, divided by 5, 4, 3, 2, times 10, 24. That's going to be 258,048. That's going to be the coefficient of this term, which is the sixth term. Next one. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of 3x squared plus 1 over 2x cubed to the power of 10. So again, TR plus 1 is going to be 10 CR 3x squared to the power of 10 minus R times 2x cubed to the power of negative R. So that's going to be 10 CR 3 to the power of 10 minus R, x to the power of 20 minus 2R minus 3R, 2 to the power of negative 2R. So that's going to be 10 CR 3 to the power of 10 minus R times 2 to the power of negative 2R, x to the power of 20 minus 5R. 20 minus 5R is supposed to be 0. It means that R is 4. It means that we are looking for fifth term. So that's 10 C4 3 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of negative 8, which is gonna be 1260 times 3 to the power of 6 is 729 divided by 2 to the power of 8 is 256. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's gonna be hard to... That's gonna be 229,635 divided by 64. That's going to be the simplest case, simplest fraction. Next one, find the term independent of x in the expansion of square root of x over 3 minus square root of 3 divided by 2x squared to the power of 10. So again, t r plus 1, 10 c r x over 3 to the power of half to the power of 10 minus r times root 2x squared to the power of r, which is going to be 10 CR x to the power of 10 minus r divided by 2, 3 to the power of negative or let's say r minus 10 divided by 2 times here r minus times 3 to the power of r over 2 times 2 to the power of negative 2r x to the power of negative 2r. 2 to the power of negative r x to the power of negative 2r. So that's going to be 10 cr x to the power of 5 minus r squared (3 r minus 10) 2 to the power of negative 2r. And here you have negative 2r. So 5 minus 5 over 2r equals to 0. It means that r is 2. When is r is 2, it means that we are looking for third term. So that's gonna be 10 c3. This part is gonna be 1 only. 3 to the power of negative 7, 2 to the power of negative 3. That's gonna be 8 times 9 times 10 divided by 2 times 3 divided by 3 to the power of 7, 2 to the power of 3. That's gonna be the coefficient. Let's look at this one. Find the term independent of x in the expansion of 3x squared minus 1 over x to the power of 6. T of r plus 1. 6cr 3x squared to the power of 6 minus r negative 1 over x to the power of r. So we have 6cr negative 1 to the power of r 3 to the power of 6 minus r x to the power of 12 minus 2r minus r, because that's in the denominator. So let's write it here, 12 to the power of 12 minus 3r. So since it's independent, the exponent has to be 0. So 12 minus 3r is supposed to be 0. So r is 4. So it means that you're looking for fifth term. So T5, 6c4, 3x squared to the power of 2, negative 1 over x to the power of 4. 6 factorial divided by 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial, which is going to be 5 times 6 divided by 2, which is 15. 9x to the power of 4, and here 1 over x to the power of 4. These two cancel out. 15 times 9 is going to be 135. That's going to be the fifth term. Next one, find the term independent of x in the expansion of 1 over 2x to the power of 1 over 3 plus x to the power of negative 1 over 5 to the power of 8. So t r plus 1, 8c r 1 over 2 x to the power of 1 over 3 to the power of r minus 8 times x to the power of negative 1 over 5. So that's going to be 8cr 2 to the power of 8 minus r, because I inversed it, x to the power of r over 3 minus 8 over 3 x to the power of negative r over 5. So that's gonna be r over 3 minus 8 over 3 minus r over 5, supposed to be 0. So that's gonna be 15, 5 minus 3, 2r equals to 8 over 3, which will be 6r equals to 120. It means that r is 20. So we are looking for 21st or 21st is written like that, right? The 21st term for this expansion. However, if you look at here, we have the index of this binomial expansion is 8. So the total number of terms we have is 9. So this is not possible since there are only 9 terms. So now this one, it says find the coefficient of x to the power of 10 in the binomial expansion of 2x squared minus 3 over x to the power of 11. So t r plus 1 11 cr 2x squared to the power of 11 minus r negative 3 over x to the power of r. So that's gonna be 11 cr 2 to the power of 11 minus r 3 to the power of r negative 1 to the power of r times x to the power of 22 minus 2r x to the power of negative r, which means that 22 minus 3r supposed to be equal to 10. So 3r equals to 12. So r is 4. So it means that we are looking for the fifth term is the answer. So we sub it there. R is 4. So it's going to be T5 is going to be 11C4 2x squared to the power of 11 minus 4, which is 7, negative 3 over x to the power of 4. That's gonna be 11 factorial divided by 4 factorial divided by 7 factorial, so it's 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 divided by 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, 2 to the power of 7, negative 3 to the power of 4, x to the power of 10. So when you calculate it, you can simplify it. 2 to the power of 4 with this 4 here and with this 3 here. Same thing here with 3. So at the end, the answer is going to be 2 to the power of 8 times 3 to the power of 5 times 11 x to the power of 10. Now this one, find the term containing x to the power of 2 in the expansion of 3x minus 1 over x to the power of 8. So t r plus 1 equal to 8cr 3x to the power of 8 minus r negative 1 over 2x to the power of r that's gonna be 8cr negative r to the power of 3x to the power of 8 minus r 2x to the power of negative 2r. Then it will be 8cr x to the power of 8 minus r minus 2r 2 to the power of negative 2r 3 to the power of 8 minus r negative 1 to the power of r. So 8 minus 3r equals to 2. It means that 3r equals to 6. So r is 2. That actually there is no 2 here. That's just r. So that's going to be 2r. So 2r equals to 6. So r is 3. So r is 3. It means that we are dealing with fourth term. And that's going to be t4 equals to negative 1 to the power of 3 3 to the power of 8 minus 3 divided by 2 to the power of 3, 8c3 x to the power of 2. When you calculate it, so that's 2 to the power of r, right? 2 to the power of r, yeah. So that's gonna be negative 1701 x squared. That's the fourth term in this binomial expansion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions.